Day 26 of my 3D print shop remodel. We're going to get some stuff done today. Cool stuff. Welcome to 3D Accuracy, where I'll talk about 3D printing, 3D product design, and 3D injection and die-cast mold design. It looks like we're finally going to get to lay some flooring down. Let me show you what we're going to do today. We've completely got this end of the shop clean. The floor's been washed 3 times. The machines are over here out of the way. I've got the lawnmower and the van out of the shop today, so I've got room to work. And there's an echo in here. I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but there's an echo in here. I got all the flooring lined up, ready to go. All I have to do today is give this area a vacuum. I want to vacuum this to get all the, because this hasn't been washed yet. Through here hasn't been washed. So I want to get that cleaned up, and then I have to put the prep down on the floor. I have to paint it, and they recommend using a roller or a stiff brush. So I'm going to use the roller and attach it to my long pole so I can just dump some of this stuff out on the floor and then push it around with the roller. I don't have to get down on my hands and knees and do it that way. So I'll use that long pole, and then I can stand and do it, which is much easier. So once I get the prep down, then it takes about 2 hours to dry. They recommend an hour to an hour and a half. I'm going to let it go 2 hours, make sure it's dry, and then we have to run some chalk lines from this wall over here all the way over to the other side. I need a line to align the floor planks to. First part of the project for today is done. A little step, but little steps are important. See, I got this whole side of the shop with the prep solution put down on the floor. You can kind of see a line where it ends. The area where I've washed the floor. I still have to wash over here and where the van was, but I'll do that later. I want to start laying some floor. So I got about, another hour before I'll say this is dry, and I'll come back in here in a little while and we'll snap some lines on the floor, measure the room, and I'll get my laptop in here and show you how I laid out the flooring in my CAD software. Here's what we have. Everything is dry, it's ready to go. I got one plank on the floor in the direction that I want to start it, and got a couple of tools, got a long tape measure here, and here's what we're gonna do. Let me show you. This is what I did on my CAD software in my computer, and you can see here this line and this line, the green lines, are the center of the shop, which is right about here. It's approximately right here. And you see this little gray round there is the pole. That's where the pole is. Now, I don't know if it's exactly in the right location. It's very, very close. You see what I did is I measured the entire shop, front to back, side to side, and went from center. It got the pattern to work with the flooring. You'll see here that up at the top, you see when the planks lay down, you see how here's the wall inside, here's outside, or approximately where outside is. And when I cut these off, I'll have this little piece left. Every one is going to be like that. When you do a herringbone pattern like I'm doing, you can see back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It looks slick. I like the looks of it a lot. It's visually much more interesting than laying the planks, in a straight fashion. That is very common. People do that a lot. But you have much less waste doing it the other way. You can see every plank gets cut on this end here. So that's why I went ahead and laid it all out to see exactly how many planks am I going to need. this way. Okay. Sealable. That one goes that way. Number 1, number 3, number 5, number 7. Should we lay one? What do you think? Yeah. Okay, lay the first plank. You ready? We finally got it all measured out. What a mess. Don't ever buy a chalk line. Use a chalk line. I knew when I was in the store, get the laser, get the laser. And I thought, I'm only going to use it one time, and then what am I going to use it for? So get the chalk, it's cheap. Well, the chalk was a big frickin' mess. We had to wipe it off the floor a couple of times, trying to get it straight, a pain in the butt. Don't do chalk lines. Don't do chalk lines. Or at least I'm never going to do a chalk line again. That's for sure. Okay. Let's see what we can do with this. Oh, this is a sticky, gooey mess. But I know if I wear gloves, it's just going to be a royal pain in the butt. Because the gloves will be hot. Come on. Yeah. Okay. I can feel the sticky getting all over me. That bottom line has to go there. This line has to go here. And I've got to go on this 45-degree angle. Look at that. Okay. They're sticky. We're making some progress here. As you saw in the last video, I had to lift a couple of the planks and reposition them because I found that when I laid them, I went this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up the line. And then when I put the other ones from the other side, I got to a couple in and they weren't lining up correctly. So I've already discovered that when you're doing a herringbone pattern, apparently the correct way to do this, or a better way to do this, is to lay the first plank, then I lay the second plank next to it, then lay this plank coming from the opposite side to make sure this edge lines up, then lay another plank on the right, then put the next one in on the left, and then do it that way, back and forth. That way you can check the positions on each one before you get too far down the line. So to do it in a row like I had done it, I took out a box number 1, number 3, number 5, number 7, number 9, number 11, and I laid those in a row, and then went number 2, box number 2, number 4, number 6, number 8, and they were off, and you saw I had to reposition. So that's what that was about. Now I've got this tricky little guy here, the pole, and as you can see in my layout here, that's what I'm up to. That green plank, the green colored plank, is I got to cut the end so that it'll fit around the pole. And would you believe It's almost a dead ringer for the CAD file. I must have measured pretty good when I laid out the shop because it's really damn close. And I've discovered the pole is slightly over 4 inches in diameter. Must be a 4-inch diameter pole, but it's like 4-inch 50 thousandths. And would you believe a mayonnaise cap is exactly the same diameter as that pole? I got lucky. I found something that had the exact same diameter. So, okay, so this is how I determined where that cutout needs to go. I bump this plank up against the pole and up against the plank next to it, okay, because it has to go in this direction. And you can see the plank that's over here is already to the same location that this plank needs to go to. This edge needs to align with this edge. And so what I did, let me change hands here, is I took another plank and I laid it over the top of this one and I aligned it and I brought it down until it touched the pole. And then I drew this line. And on this PVC planks, pencil draws on it nicely, which is good, and it also erases. See, there's an eraser, and you can erase that. Comes right out of there, lickety-split. So if you need to do this sort of thing, know that a regular pencil and a eraser works really well on this vinyl plank. So that's how I established this edge. And then this edge, all it was is it needs to align with this other plank coming in this direction. Because once this is up on this edge, see, once this one here is up on this edge, then this should align down here. And so all I did was I took a ruler, I lined it up, and I scribed the line, drew the line on there, and that's how I got the location. And once you have the two edges, of course, then all I had to do was drop that in there and trace around it, and I know where to cut. So I'm going to cut that little circular shape out of there and then see how it looks. I'll show you what that looks like. See, this cap is the exact same diameter as the pole. So it gives me a perfect little trace here. There we go. Okay. That should be better. Made a mistake on the first one. Cut it too deep, measured from the wrong edge of the plank. But we got it now. Let's see if we can get this guy. Bingo. Look at that. We're so close. Okay, we got a little bump on the pole here. There's a little something on the pole, so I need to clear that spot a little bit so we can get on there. Let's and let's see, get a little clearance on here. From there, I need to come down here. Get a little bit of clearance around there. So it sits up in here because this cap happens to be the same diameter as the pole, and there's a little bit of irregularity on the pole. couple. Now this is 1.5 inches. This is 1.5 inches. So it's straight. So if I measure out 1.5 inches from the edge, that's how deep I never trust wooden yardsticks. This one is not square. It's all twisted. Piece of junk. That's why I have this good aluminum yardstick that my dad bought for me when I was young. I've had this for so many years, and this one I know is straight. Yeah, lines up on that board just like it should. Love it. Okay. Now, what I need to do now is find the other. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're ever in need of 3D product design, 3D injection mold design, 3D die-cast mold design, or 3D printed prototypes or production parts, please feel free to contact me. You can find contact information in the video description. I look forward to hearing from you and to being of service to you. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. See you on 3D Accuracy's next video.